Hey guys, so we're going to start off with some warm-up questions. These are just going to be on the Ed puzzle, so go ahead and make sure that you do those and answer those. It will tell you right away if you are correct or not correct. So just keep working through these and answer all 8. Okay, so if you are at this point, it means you have finished your warm-up questions. So we are going to start with our notes for today. So absolute value. So absolute value is used to describe the distance that a number is from 0. So the notation that we use to show absolute value is a pair of vertical lines. So it will look something like this. A vertical line and a number, so say 2, and another vertical line. So if you look at the one below, it says to read the expression vertical line, -4, and vertical line, you would say the absolute value of -4. So again, absolute value is the distance from 0. We use it to show with vertical lines, like that absolute value of 2, and then we would read that expression as the absolute value of -4. All right, so we're going to do a couple examples. So looking at the number line below, we can see that -4, if we plot -4, is 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces away from 0. So that means that the absolute value of -4 is equal to 4. It's also down here on the bottom. Or it says +4 is also 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces away from 0. So the absolute value of +4 is also just 4. So because absolute value refers to a distance, that means that our absolute value is always going to be a positive number. So anytime you are asked for an absolute value, it has to equal a positive number. Okay, so we're going to go down and work some questions. So we have absolute value equations. So solving absolute value equations, you're going to set this up and you're going to solve it in 2 ways. So you're going to take your absolute value equation and you are going to set it equal to +9. And you are going to solve. So we are going to divide both sides by 3. So x equals 3. Our second step is we are going to change the sign of the 9 and we are going to solve for x again. So x equals -3 this time. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys why this works. If we plug that back into our original equation, we have the absolute value of 3 times 3 equals 9. So we have the absolute value of 9 equals 9, +9 equals 9, and that is true. Then we're also going to have the absolute value of 3 times -3 and check to see if it equals 9. So this time, 3 times -3 is going to equal -9. And since absolute value is always positive, it automatically changes that -9 because -9 is 9 spaces away from 0. +9 equals +9. So those absolute value vertical lines just make your number positive, always. Okay, so when we solve for absolute value equations, you are going to turn this right-hand side. You're going to solve it once positive, and you're going to solve it once while it's negative. Okay, so let's look at number 5. So number 5 says the absolute value of n over 3 is equal to 2. So we're going to set this up 2 ways. N over 3 is equal to 2. And the second way n over 3 is equal to negative 2. Okay, so we're going to solve them the same way. Since n is being divided by 3, we have to multiply both sides times 3. So that means that n equals 6. Then our second side, not multiply by 6, multiply by 3 to get rid of our denominator, multiply by 3, and that means n equals negative 6. So our answer is n equals negative 6, comma 6, because it can equal either negative 6 or 6. All right, one last example. So let's look at number 7. So we have negative 2r minus 1 equals 11. So same thing. Negative 2r minus 1 equals positive 11. And second example, negative 2r minus 1 equals negative 11. So we need to get our r by itself. So that means we have to add 1 to both sides. When we do that, our 1's will cancel out. Negative 2r equals positive 12. Divide by negative 2. Divide by negative 2. And r equals negative 6. Okay, so our second one, we're going to solve the same way. We need to get our negative 2r alone. So we're going to add 1 to both sides. So negative 2r is going to be equal, and negative 11 plus 1 is negative 10. And then we have to divide by the number in front of our variable. We're going to have negative 10 divided by negative 2. Negative divided by a negative makes it positive. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So r can equal negative 6 or 5. Okay, so for the rest of this video, you guys, I want y'all to try and solve the right-hand column. So 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10.